Welcome to this free and open community of faith, created here in the virtual world by real people, not yet perfect people, working things out people, giving themselves the benefit of the doubt because in this and every holy moment, we believe love wins. Together, Unitarian Universalists light a chalice at the beginning of each worship program. And so today, I invite you to hear these words together as we light this chalice. May this chalice flame give light and warmth to our community when we are joyful and when we despair. And may we feel the warmth spread from our circle to wider and wider circles until everyone knows that they belong to the one circle of life. Red River Unitarian Universalists, when they gather, always create and recreate this affirmation. And you'll see the words, and I hope you'll say them together, either with your lips or in your heart. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, and to help one another. There, now that we've created this community of faith, I would like to open with this thought from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There is an art, or rather a knack, to flying. The knack lies in learning how to throw yourself at the ground and miss.
We sing our thanks and praise, for all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise, for our life is our gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
This is what the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has to say about the subject of flying. There is an art, or rather a knack, to flying. The knack lies in learning how to throw yourself to the ground and miss. Pick a nice day and try it. All it requires is simply the ability to throw yourself forward with all your weight and the willingness not to mind that it's going to hurt. That is, it's going to hurt if you fail to miss the ground. Most people fail to miss the ground, and if they are really trying properly, the likelihood is that they will fail to miss it fairly hard. Clearly, it is the second part, the missing, which presents the difficulties. And now, I would like to invite you into a time of meditation, which some call prayer and some call simply reflection. We do that in the morning program to offer you just a few moments of respite from the stress and cares of the week. And today, the words for meditation are taken from a Hasidic prayer, and I think it will fit with the program that we've got going on right now. And so, if you will just take a moment to breathe and hear these words with me and think about them in your way, I think you will find them to be useful for you. I am afraid of things that cannot harm me, and I know it. I yearn for things that cannot help me, and I know it. What I fear is within me, and within me, too, is what I seek. And so it is, and so it will be in our meditations, and our prayers, and our reflection. And I leave it with you, and let it be unto you according to your faith. Amen.
ילדים בחופשה ישחקו תופסת בין הבית לבין השדות. עוד תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה. עוד תראה כמה טוב יהיה בשנה הבאה.
Soon the day will arrive when we will be together, and no longer will we live in fear. And the children will smile without wondering whether on that day thunder clouds will appear. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Some have dreamed, some have died to make a bright tomorrow, and their vision remains in our hearts. Now the torch must be passed with new hope and not in sorrow, and the promise to make a new start. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me.
Our second reading today, it's a day rich in readings, is a poem by Alice Walker called Expect Nothing. Expect nothing, live frugally on surprise, become a stranger to need of pity, or if compassion be freely given out, take only enough. Stop short of urge to plead, then purge away the need. Wish for nothing larger than your own small heart, or greater than a star. Tame wild disappointment with caress unmoved and cold. Make of it a parka for your soul. Discover the reason why so tiny human midget exists at all. So scared, unwise. But expect nothing. Live frugally on surprise. Here ends the reading. And so begins the preaching. And I hope you are expecting nothing, but if you are expecting something, let's talk about your expectations, because you might be expecting something of a depressing talk today, it being about failure and all. But I hope to surprise you, because it may be that, because I believe failure is not an option and it's included and guaranteed and all, I think you'll find as we go that failure is not what hurts us. What really hurts us is all the misinformation we have about success. And you knew that that was true already, didn't you? So let's talk today about failing and succeeding, winning and losing, throwing yourself to the ground and missing, and maybe even flying a little for a time, because it could happen. I was recalling, as I got ready to talk about this, my mom, who was sort of a practical, plain-spoken, goofy, sort of a Yankee lady, she would go to my son's Little League games from time to time when she had time. And I remember once she got there before me to a game, and I raced up all out of breath. I said, "Mom, glad you're here. Say, who are they playing?" And without missing a beat, she just said, bunch of losers with kids around. But nobody heard her, so she didn't hurt any feelings. But that was how my mom was. She was very practical about winning and losing. She knew it was just a game. She knew that competition was healthy. In fact, when she played games with the grandchildren, she didn't let them win. No, she'd beat them fair square at Parcheesi or whatever. I didn't get that, actually. I, in fact, have a terrible confession to make. I don't like playing games because I don't like to lose. It makes me feel bad. And then I don't like to win because then I worry about the other people feeling bad if they have lost. Are human beings always this competitive? I want to know. I think probably over the millennia they always have been. I just don't know if we've always been this relentlessly cheerful about it and competitive and late capitalism. I don't know. All this encouragement from zillionaires and billionaires telling us all to work hard and putting it on a poster for us, forgetting to mention the trust funds that the billionaires have to get them started. And I appreciate the posters, don't get me wrong. I just as soon would have had the trust funds. But anyway, we drive ourselves to succeed. We do in this society. We drive ourselves to goals that then turn around and drive us. But these days now, we've been having a little bit of a pandemic, in case you haven't noticed. And so the notions of success and driving ourselves have all taken a turn. I think we can agree. So any one of us as individuals now in this pandemic, if we're still, driven to succeed, we've got to ask ourselves, have we not, all of us, maybe seen some disappointments in this pandemic, some missed expectations? I know I have. I've had some major disappointments this year, and I've made some major mistakes. I'm not letting myself off the hook. But I've known some people who have lost businesses and jobs, lots of them. And I've known people who have gotten sick. I've known people who have had COVID-19. And I'm sure that you've had these concerns as well. If you ask yourself, in your friends and your family, people who have undergone unpredictable failures of their own making, it's been a tough year for people. And maybe you're just listening to this and you're counting your blessings. If you are, put it in the comments, counting my blessings. And if so, good on you. But maybe you're also thinking to yourself, maybe I'm having a failure of compassion right now because all I'm doing is counting my blessings, and you're wondering why you're feeling some kind of numbness because you used to be a caring human being, and what happened now? I'll tell you what happened. For the last several years, decades even, you've had a flood of news and impetus and this surreal news and lies and propaganda injected into your consciousness for years, and hopelessness drilled into your heart. So that the only way you can continue to stay in your lane was to keep working and buying and being entertained and live in this society that we have. And you don't know how to feel right now. I'm just saying, as a rule, maybe you're different, but many people these days are saying to themselves, I don't know how to feel about a pandemic, about people who are losing their jobs and their houses, and you don't know how much longer you can sustain yourself in this society. And perhaps you're aware that this pandemic and its effects is not over yet. So there's that. So we as individuals may feel right now that we're not quite making the grade. We're doing our best. We're sheltering in place, but we may not really feel confident that we're going to weather this, whatever it is, unaffected. That's fair to say. But what about our environment? What about the country that we're living in? How's our country doing right now? Well, I think it's fair to say America's having tough times right now. And I'm not even talking about the current political scene, because I don't talk about politics, because I don't talk to politicians, because they don't talk to me. I talk to people, and that's you. And this is your country, not the politicians' country. It's your country. It's our country. And it's a country that we have had high hopes for, expectations, if you will. And maybe that's the rhetoric of people long gone. But I've heard from people recently, people of color, young people, who have said, we have expectations too. And in this day of modern day prophets, they've had dreams, and flawed as the reality of this country may be, this is still the longest standing attempt at a democracy that is alive today. And whatever our politics are, I think it will be safe to say that our country is maybe not living up to expectations right now. We have worries, many of us, that it might even become a failure at democracy, a failed state, because we have a government that is having difficulty reaching the people, and we have a fear of compromised elections, due in part to the pandemic and due in part to other elements. In other words, the people are traumatized a little bit right now, and the country is a little bit struggling. I'm using the carefulest words I can, but all of that leads me to ask my third question: what do we need? What do we need to avert these possible failures? Well, because of who I am, my answer is going to be, I think we need some spiritual strength up in here. We have, I believe, more information than we can handle. We got plenty of entertainment. We've got that. We don't need, heaven help us when people say, well, what we really need is a rest and a timeout. No, I don't think so. We have everything we need except maybe a stable spiritual, moral, ethical center. And I'm not talking about a return to some values that maybe we thought we had once in a while. I think what we need is some spiritual support that we can count on. Right now, we may actually need more counselors, psychiatrists, social workers, but who do they turn to? They turn to their churches and synagogues and mosques. You know, that's us, people like me. But it's a little bit like that scene in one of my favorite Superman movies. I think it's the first one. Lois Lane is falling off the building. Superman is still new to the people, so he rushes up and grabs her, and he says, "Don't worry, miss, I've got you." And she says, "You've got me? Who's got you?" Well, that's kind of where we're at right now. The helpers need help. The churches need help. And the churches are doing their best right now. The pandemic rolled in and the churches couldn't meet. And right away they started doing this. This is good news. We can reach the people directly. We wouldn't even have to mess with our building. But the bad news is we have to do all of this without a building, and we have to do it without the people. So now, how do we know, how do the churches know that they're succeeding? Well, how did the churches ever know that they were succeeding? Well, churches wanted to succeed. They always did. They always wanted to be the friendliest or the coolest or the most progressive churches. During the mid-20th century to the late 20th century, the baby boom made all the mainline churches look really successful. Yeah, some of them sounded, you know, they counted souls for Christ, or they converts to enlightenment, you know, whatever made you feel good. Even in the olden days, 6 months ago, your church would measure its attendance. How many people showed up that day for worship or for potlucks? How many people could you get to come there? You would dazzle them, invite them, I don't know, offer them a bobblehead doll, whatever it took. And then there was the giving. You could measure your success as a church by how generous the people were. But what now? I can't go up to you in person and say, you know, how great it is for you to be there that day. I'm here and you're out there. The success of your spiritual journey is now in your hands, not the church's. It's an astonishing change. The churches now wonder how to measure whether they are succeeding in your reality. So the answer it has become really different. It's like, subscribe, and share. I'm not even really kidding about that. Red River Unitarian Universalists have given this program, and they would like you to like it and then subscribe to their channel and share it. It's just that simple. And I hope you're doing it right now. And if you are, you know, we'll take names. No, we won't. We just want you to like. We want you to show that you're here, because it's just important for you to do that, as it is for Red River Unitarian Universalists that you do that. Why? Because the success of a spiritual journey is not the church's success at all. It never was. We all thought it was. We'd point to a church and we'd say, oh, look, that church is a success. It's a big and nice. They have great music. Lots of people go there. That church is a great success. That was never anything but a wrong expectation. We don't know if we're succeeding because we don't know what success means. That's true for churches, for countries. It's true for people. Success for people, you go looking it up on Google and you'll see the same two ideas repeated by dozens of famous men and women. Don't judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. That was said by everybody from Nelson Mandela to apparently all the Japanese. And then the other one is, only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. So, as people, all we can do is continue to try and fail. And as individuals, it's usually a failure of love. But then we find out that love itself can win. And when we live frugally on surprise, expecting nothing, what happens? We find a baby goat video and then love floods our heart and we realize love takes hold in places we never imagined if we just give it a chance. Each of our individual lives will ultimately fail, but life itself wins because life wants to live. The future of Red River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship is unknowable, but Unitarian Universalism, the Church Universal, that's larger than any fellowship. And these programs that we're sending out, they're like little heart-sized seeds that will grow greater than a star if you share them out of your love and your desire to grow. So, what is success versus failure? Well, if success in life means living in your earth suit forever, then you will fail 100% of the time. But it turns out that's the wrong goal. That's like throwing yourself to the ground over and over again. It hurts. It hurts to know you are mortal. I've thought a lot recently about some of the disappointments and failures that I had put myself through this last year. And I realize I've made some big and bold and brazen mistakes that I don't regret at all. I've made some sudden wrong turns to chase some higher calling that I thought I had. And I realized I'd spent years trying to figure out what turned out to be the wrong problem. And I realized I'd made numerous attempts to help over here when I should have been helping over there. I never regret really what I try to do when I am trying to do things from a place of love. I've only really regretted the things I failed to do for fear that I would fail. So maybe ultimately, if I try harder than anything, I will go to the top of the high mountain that God calls me to, and then if I throw myself to the hard, heavy ground with all the weight of my pride and self-importance and failures and fear of looking foolish, maybe by the grace of some higher power, I will miss. And then I'll be flying. Surprise. And all those big, bold, brazen mistakes will now be my dreams come true. And that's what I want for the people of faith, that each of you will boldly find your own path of paradox and power. And I'm not even saying let go of your burdens of failure. No, because they're part of your rich humanity. Let the weight of those failures be part of the weight that you throw willingly to the ground. And then one fine day when the Spirit moves you, perhaps you will throw yourself to the ground and miss. And then together we will fly. For a while, anyway. Because love wins, and you will win. Amen.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere.
Now I'd like to invite you to, indeed, for real, like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and then to click the link to join the discussion afterwards, to join the Zoom fellowship of Red River Unitarian Universalists. Meet the people, find out what they're about, look for a community of faith, because that is ultimately the way we are all going to fly. Thank you for being with us today, and thank you for being a person of faith. Now, we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. I'll leave you with this parting thought from Rebecca Ann Parker. Even when our hearts are broken by our own failure, or the failure of others cutting into our lives, even when we have done all we can and life is still broken, there is universal love that has never broken faith with us and never will. And now, to the extent that I can bless you, I bless you. To the extent that you can bless others, bless others. Whatever you do, don't look down. Amen.
What day is today? If you're anything like me, you've probably asked yourself that question in these very strange pandemic times. You may have even asked that question more than once in the same day, about the same day. Regardless how the days fold seamlessly and endlessly into a blur, we do live day by day, and each day is numbered and colored and scented. If we look closely enough, an ordinary day is full of magic that only seems ordinary. And sometimes a special, unexpected bit of magical graces, which may echo into tomorrow or next week or for the rest of our lives. Join the worship team next week as we explore the day when John Lennon sees a UFO.